He's not good anymore.
Ready to go.
Hi, everybody. Welcome. My name is Ryan A. Moore. This is GDOCtalk. Joining me, like always, is J. Kent Redeem. And in the hot seat this month, Rob Brower.
Hot in the hot seat. Ow.
It's fitting that
If you get a
that's
green
red.
burrito, it'll get a little hotter.
Oh, my gosh. Good grief.
Move
Welcome
on.
to GDOCtalk.
Come on, fart jokes are funny.
So, since we didn't have a fourth person this month, we're going to have to come up with another topic. So, this topic is, why do movie theaters suck? I've wanted to talk about this since I've seen Guardians of the Galaxy.
I guess
I haven't seen it yet.
It has nothing to do with
Want to
it.
know why I haven't seen it yet?
Why?
Because movie theaters suck.
Okay, well, there you go. Do you mind if I rant for a second? Because we're going to need to strap in
Don't
for
go too
about...
long, okay.
Okay.
He does rant. So
Okay, this is what happened to me. This is why I think movie theaters suck. Because the
Okay, I'll pull
people
off this.
there suck. The people there, the people watching are garbage. That's why. Now let me explain why. Now, when I went to go see 22 Jump Street. Yes, I must say
In the theater.
that. Yeah, I saw 22 Jump Street in the theater. Funny movie. Now, here's where it went off the deep end. This dude comes in wearing a suit and tie. Right off the bat, there's red flags going all over the place. I'm like, okay. I'm watching it with my two friends, and we're watching it, and I'm like, okay. Haha, this is pretty funny. That's good. They're making jokes. They're left and right.
Mm-hmm.
Normal comedy movie. This guy down here in the row, I remember where he was sitting because I was like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, he just went, I'm peeking too.
Take it out, I would say.
So,
He's into this.
he laughs like so the joke was it would like, how there's the setup and then there's the punchline.
Yes.
There was setup. As soon as the setup was just ending and the punchline was about to be delivered, the guy started laughing, and it was the most obnoxious
best setup
the
ever.
buzzkill laugh ever.
Laughing like he's seen it before.
No, like he was legitimately laughing, but it was like,
why the chicken crossroad?
yeah, it was like, dude,
Wow.
like his laugh. Those people that just have that laugh that just kill it. Like they just, you know what?
The ones that stand-up comedians point out.
Yeah, because there's the laugh that's like funnier than the joke. There's those guys. There's the laugh that's acceptable, and then there's that laugh that's like it sounds fake, but you're like, that's your real laugh, isn't it?
Minor tangent. If you're at a comedy show, I don't care how much you paid for your tickets. If you have that annoying of a laugh, they will kick you out if they're filming a special.
They will.
Yeah.
They should.
It's-
They should do it at a
they
movie
will.
theater.
They will.
Now, here's my other
That's
one.
kinda hard.
We were at Guardians of the Galaxy. Really recent movie. Great movie.
Yeah.
I was sitting there, back row. I know where these people were sitting. There and up there. These were two different films. And they might as well have been they might as well have known each other. So they started talking, these two ladies. You know what?
Look.
That's too nice of a word for
Not
these people.
sitting next to each other.
They were sitting right next to each other, right behind me.
Okay.
And so you know how there's the row, right?
Yeah.
And then there's about 4 seats in, about maybe 6 seats in, and they were up in the corner on the side where the stairs are.
Okay.
I was watching the movie. It was a good movie, and we're getting about into it, and we're probably about good 25 minutes into it. And I want to say this first. This movie is a over 2 hour long movie. Over 2 hour long movie. Very need to be stated there. And so this lady gets up like this and does this. I'm like, because out of the corner of your eye, when you're watching a big screen, you kind of see that shadow move.
the
And you're like,
peripheral, yeah.
you kind of look over, you're like, I don't know what they're doing. And then you kind of look back at the movie. And then she gets up. And so you see the figure rise up. If someone stands up, you're kind of going, oh, okay, they're getting up, that kind of thing. And I started watching the movie again, and then she kind of goes across. And if you're staring at the movie theater, you're going to see this person cross you. So I'm like, oh, they're going to the bathroom. Nope. She goes over, sits in the handicap seat. And I'm like, that's weird. Like, why did she get up? Why did she move seats? As soon as I thought that to myself, immediately turns on, they start, I hear them over 2 hours of non-stop conversation. Kid you not. There's quiet scenes in that movie. And
Wait, so she's talking from that seat?
no,
No,
she moved.
She moved because these ladies.
Yeah,
were
because
all-
okay.
these two ladies are talking.
I see.
Like a lady from my row. And I'm like, are you kidding me?
Like, are they even trying to be quiet, or are
No,
they just
they're
like we're
having,
talking now?
they're having a conversation. And then I'm like, and they start
Okay.
laughing.
Now, this
People
may,
die in that movie.
this may, this
They're
may go
talking.
back to our previous topic. Not to sound prejudiced, but were they sisters?
No, they
No?
were white.
Okay,
They were-
okay.
so,
I just want to make sure that they were just like perpetuating this.
no.
That, growing up in Tacoma, that happened a lot.
No,
A
that's
lot.
not. No, I haven't.
That's
No,
funny, dude.
both these people, all these people have been white, but like these, I don't
Wow.
even know. I don't know.
That's-
There's something,
that's tough.
but they talk through the whole movie.
That
There's a
is
there's
tough.
a now in that movie. There's mostly just music and people talking
Yeah.
almost all the time. There are some parts that are like they're quiet. There's no music going on. In the beginning, there's like a really emotional scene. I'm not gonna get into it, but like there's an emotional
Yeah,
scene and
no
everyone's like,
spoilers.
they're like,
Yeah.
oh man, that's really like, I can't believe it. All of a sudden,
No, are they even talking about the movie, or are they
No,
just like,
they're having a full out
oh,
conversation
that
about other
reminds me, I
stuff.
forgot to pick up my dry cleaning today.
No, I don't even know what they were talking about. Then they get up after the movie. They get up and leave. My dad heard it. He does not care about if you like how embarrassed. He went
He'll
up
say
and he
something
went,
out loud.
yeah, like he's as they're walking by, and
I'd have said something during the film.
I
would-
would have too.
But the thing,
That would drive me crazy.
But like, he almost did. He was like he started to do it, and because he constantly he just went like this, and for a good like 5 minutes he was just staring at him. He's like, "Are you kidding me?" Like, and no one's doing a thing.
I would have asked them. Assuming
Now-
you're planning on doing this for the whole film.
To wrap all of this all up,
Yes. Put a bow tie.
the
on it.
two girls proceed to walk down, talking to each other
How old
still.
were- how old
And
were
as
they?
they're walking away, you know what made me even more mad? They were with a group of people. That's what made me even more mad.
And the group didn't stop.
The
Yeah,
group
they're
didn't
gonna
do nothing
Yeah.
about it.
How old were these girls?
They were probably like early 20s.
Okay.
See, there's a certain etiquette that kind of needs to be followed.
Well, it's
Remember
a-
when
it's
we all
also
went
a
to
rule.
go see The Desolation of Smog?
Okay.
Yes.
And we were
I
all
think you brought this up too.
We were all sitting in the road.
Yes,
now,
I brought- I
now
think
for
it
people
was
that
me.
weren't there, we were going to go see the 3D one. It
Yeah.
was all sold out.
Sold
so the only thing that we had tickets left to buy
Was
as
high
a group was the high frame rate.
I love
which
that.
Not
And
very people
so,
over there.
so we all sat there, and there was nobody else in the theater. And we
Yeah.
were way early because we were
Yeah.
going to go see an earlier show, right?
Yep.
And so we're sitting there in the row, and it's just all of us hanging out, having a good time.
Yep.
And then two people come into the theater, and where
Yes.
they sit, Kent was on the last
Yes.
of
That
us, and they sat right next to Kent.
right next to me, and I was like, "Are you?"
Literally right next to him. And I'm
That
like,
was so annoying.
I'm like, out of 300 seats in the theater, we're taking up 5 of them, and you have to sit in the 2 that are right next to the 5 we're taking up. Seriously.
Maybe maybe they got attachment needs. They need to be with someone. They can't
Maybe.
be.
I don't know.
Oh man, and they kind of are almost. I swear that one guy maybe was a little high because he's laughing at everything.
It is Washington. I don't know.
I don't know. That was before the laws,
Yeah.
though. Okay, now here's
Yeah.
let me throw my beef
Okay.
about why I hate theaters.
Go ahead.
Actually, I love theaters, but why part I hate about them
Yeah.
is the whole. I'm actually an audiophile, so I love sound, and the bigger the better, but it has to be good bigger, not just let's just turn it up really loud and then like just shake the boom and think that's good. Like for me, it was like THX. THX was the one. THX was the one that I liked the most. When they brought out THX, because that was what made it like, okay, whoa, that is quality sound, and that's when I started to care. Where I literally would drive across the state to listen to something in THX because that's how much I loved it. Nowadays,
Wait, what state are we talking? Like Rhode Island or like Texas?
I would no actually I had to go out of. I was in college. I had to go out of Idaho, cross Oregon, like to Portland was the closest place I had THX.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
And I would do that.
Poor you.
And so
I
now
would
then
not
eventually,
drive.
they got
See a
THX
movie.
there. But dude, nowadays when you go to see a movie, it's not that is not the thing that's on my mind. In fact, it's clearly not part of it's not a priority anymore. The whole surround sound.
Well-
when you watch me, like, dude, that movie was great. Do you ever go, dude, that
No,
sound
they found
was killer?
Okay, so
Yeah.
here's my thing.
And so now they charge you
So
for
here's
it.
my gripe. Yeah, exactly. They have it, but they
have it.
They have the premium theater experience.
That's what I'm
I remember
saying.
asking them. I said, okay, so what's the difference between this movie and this movie? Well, that's high frame rate, so you're going to pay more than the regular ticket. Okay. Well, what about that one? Well, that's 3D, so you're going to pay more. Okay.
Yep.
What about this one?
It's RDX.
And
like
and they
in
said it's
Lakewood.
the experience. It's got better sound and better seats. Well, what about better picture? Not really. So I'm like, so you can either get the better picture or you can get the better sound. Well, what's it going to take to get both? You have to go to the IMAX to get
IMAX.
the better sound and picture.
That's
But why don't
my
they have the
beef.
IMAX with the recliners?
Yeah.
Because I
know,
fell
though.
asleep in them.
Those
I fell
recliners
asleep
are
in
so
Spider-Man
Yes,
because of that.
I have forgotten.
Those
I've fallen
recliners
asleep
are
there
so
too.
stinking sweet.
But the IMAX is it.
I
That's what
can
I'm
sit
saying.
I can sit in a recliner at my
Like,
house and not have anybody talk.
And here's the thing, right? So like I went to see Guardians of the Galaxy and my dad and my sister were here, and they're like, "So what are we gonna watch?" And I'm like, "I would really love to see an IMAX because, dude, that kind of movie is begging for good sound." And it's like I want the sound, so now
regular.
we have to see it on IMAX size because I want the sound. But then my sister's like, "Well, I don't like 3D movies very much," and I'm
Yeah.
like, "Uh-oh, we got a problem." But I did something for her. I actually, when we were walking in the IMAX theater, I went down in a little bucket, took 2 of them out, and then while we were waiting for the trailers, I cracked one of them open, took one of the lenses, stuck it in there, snapped it together. Here you go. You got yourself 2D glasses. So they're both
And
right-eyed.
can we explain
Yeah.
why the IMAX glasses are the most cheapest garbage?
And,
filled
yeah,
stuff?
they're giant.
Hold on a second. Keep talking.
They're right there.
They're right here.
Be careful with those
Yeah.
because those are the ones
So-
that I actually had to crack.
Look at these. Look at
Yeah.
these piece of garbage.
because they don't want people stealing them, like this guy obviously did.
I stole it because I actually made them 2D.
Yeah.
That's why I stole these because these are actually modified. You can see they're actually.
Yeah.
I literally put
So-
2 right eyes in them.
So let me tell you my long-standing gripe with theaters, and because it's all about the money.
It's all about the money.
And since you can't make enough money, apparently, just
Apparently.
selling seats to the film, you have to charge $13.75 for a bucket of popcorn and a soda.
Yeah, now that's the movie theater because they don't make money from the movies.
Yeah, so a bucket of popcorn and a soda, $13.75. I mean, the prices have gotten so ridiculous.
Have you seen the new Jack in the Box commercial?
And which one?
One about popcorn prices.
No, I haven't
you
seen
seen
that
it?
one.
No.
Okay, so Jack and his wife
Are
are
we going to
at.
put a link to it down there?
Jack and his wife are there, and
if he
then
sends it to me.
and he's got a
You
big
gotta
old
send me
bucket
the
of
link.
popcorn, and the guy goes, "That'll be $22.99," and Jack's like, $22.99? This isn't even a meal. Speaking of which, I have a meal.
By the way,
I have a meal that gives me a burger, a fries, and some of that for only $4.99. And then the next scene, you see him there in their movie theater, and his wife sees on his shoulder like this, and they're watching the chick flick, and you see a tear start going down his eye. She goes, you really are a softie after all, aren't you? No, I'm still thinking about the price of the popcorn. That's the new commercial.
I mean, it is ridiculous. The other thing is, I don't know what happened, but it used to be a point in time where if you worked in the service industry, it was about giving customer service.
Yeah.
Lately, it seems like they go out of their way to hire employees at the movie theaters that just really don't give a rip. They don't care about movies. I
Yeah.
mean, I ask them,
Some do, sometimes.
have you seen the
but-
movie? No, I don't really watch movies. Then why are you working at a movie
why
theater?
are you here?
Yeah.
One of the perks is you get to see movies.
Yeah.
You know?
That's where
Um,
you got to get a good experience. Like I remember, I actually, when I moved here to Olympia, I was coming from Boise, so I was thinking, oh, surely, dude, I can't wait to move to Olympia. They probably got some cool stuff. Not one theater style.
Because you know, Oli would.
Dude, I didn't know it. I didn't know. I figured it's part of the Puget Sound. It had to be something here. Not one theater seating. None. They still had the old-fashioned bucket, the old-fashioned hallway style. That's what they had here. That's all they had. So when Yelm they were the first ones to get a theater that had a theater in it. I drove to Yelm to go to movies every time.
Theater seating.
And what was awesome about Yelm, they're locally owned. So I started to learn that. It's like I liked it because when they did like a premiere for the Hobbit, I think it was like one of the first Lord of the Rings I went there for premiere. Dude, they had paper mache, like the whole scene, and even when you walk through when you're walking through, it made you look like you're walking through a cave. All the
Yeah.
people were wearing capes because they were locally owned. The people who were there loved movies. So I guess it's like location. I guess.
So growing up in Tacoma,
It's a Regal.
we had nice theaters. I mean, we had the
No, not the
the,
one, you
the
know.
Lakewood 16 and whatnot. But here's my thing: is if it's all about me, the person paying the money to go into the theater and watch a film, I want your organization to make the entire experience all about me. I want you to be asking yourself the question: how can we better serve you, sir? And number one is, if you have ushers that are going to come into the theater in the middle of the film just to check the exits, that detracts from my movie-going
It does,
experience.
every
What, you
time.
don't like their lightsaber?
And if they are
went
going
and
to
got
come
a
do
Toys
that,
R Us?
if they are going to come do that, have them shut the people up that are talking. You know, I
Yes.
want bouncers at the theater. You know, having been a bouncer myself,
Or-
I want a big burly guy to come down and be like, "Excuse me, sir, you're gonna have to shut up, or I'm gonna have to escort
It's
you
not
out."
like in the
and
movies.
they come back and put him in a chokehold and drag him out the exit.
Or,
Well,
or
see,
is that
it's
supposed to, is that the facade of like, oh, I'm not gonna pull out my gun because the guy just came in with his lightsaber like looking
Oh, yeah.
flashlight? Is that supposed to be security?
But the thing
No,
is
it's not a
like
security thing.
they
a
like
joke.
in the movie, like in the movies or TV shows, it's like the person will come in and go, "Sir, can you please be quiet?" That doesn't happen. I know I peaked on that, but that is the reason why I don't care.
Or-
it doesn't
oh,
happen.
Here's another beef. Have you ever gone to a movie theater and it's out of focus? Has
Rarely.
happened so many times.
Rarely.
That I'm
No.
like, that is so out of focus, that is driving me crazy. And then and I would go out and tell them, dude, out of focus, go focus it. And I'd sit down and it would take them a couple minutes. All of a sudden, you see it go, oh, there we go.
Now,
Really?
Have you ever been to a movie theater that had a stain spot?
On the screen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you know that the one at Lacey has one? The Regal
Nice.
that has one?
Which theater?
It's in the IMAX theater.
Oh no, I haven't.
I look at it
Don't
every
point.
single time.
I don't-
No,
Don't tell
that's
me.
what I told my dad. I'm like,
Yeah.
do you see the stain? He's like, no.
Is
I'm
it a
like, then
stain
I'm
or
not
is it
going
a
to tell you.
cut?
I'm not going to tell you then.
One of the screens at the Lakewood 16 had a cut in it that had obviously been taped from behind, but you could still see it.
Yes, because the tape.
But okay, so back in the
Because they're
day,
partially translucent.
on the Air Force Base, and I know we're probably running close to the end of this broadcast, but on the Air Force Base there was a theater, and so they had the curtains, and it used to be that they would do all the previews, they would close the curtains, and then you know, and they always played the Star Spangled Banner. You know,
Okay.
for some reason, you know, you see the
you're at
jets
the
taking
base.
off.
Oh,
It was
nice.
it.
Nice.
And then,
Military.
and, yeah, and the flags waving in the background. It was awesome. Well, I remember one time, and this was before really that whole panoramic thing, you know, ratio
Yeah.
became
the 16
huge.
by,
Yeah.
okay.
And so they would open up the curtain, and then the film was showing on the curtain.
Oh,
And we're
my
like,
gosh.
okay, open up the curtain more. And it was like the last 2 feet on either side were on the curtain. We're like, open up the curtain. Open up the curtain. We started yelling at the guy, and then
Yeah.
finally, there was nobody up there.
Yeah.
He basically pressed play on the projector and left. Went to the bathroom. or
They
something.
do that.
He finally came back and was like, oh, and then you see the curtains, and everybody's applauding.
Now,
do
I
that.
remember this one. It's funny you say that because like there's this
That was
one.
Last Action Hero, by the way. Oh, nice.
How fitting. There was this one time it was fairly recent too, and I can't remember what movie it was. Might have been Spider-Man, but they were showing it. And it was projecting, and you're like watching it, and da 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 da. And then everyone's kind of waiting for the end of it, and I'm like, well, first of all, it's not a Marvel movie, so there's probably not going to be anything at the end. But oh well, let's just stay. So we stayed. All of a sudden, it goes. It's the movie. The movie's over because they just played that like garbage of an X-Men commercial that they played, and then all of a sudden,
Yeah.
you see a mouse fly like a computer mouse
cursor. I remember
just
that.
slide away. I'm like, what is that? like what MacBook are you running up there? Like, do they just Dropbox the movie and you kind of just stream it on there?
Pretty much, though,
Like-
that's what they're doing.
I'm
They
like,
do have a
what
server, they download
What
it.
is that?
It's like Netflix for movie
Yeah,
theaters.
they're just like
It is,
Netflix.
though.
Super
Sony.
HD.
Sony
That's
just
the thing
emailed them a
it is, though.
link.
So what's next? You're in the middle of the movie, you're eating your popcorn, and all of a sudden, buffering.
No, like the little like McAfee like update thing pops up.
Yeah.
It's like, please update
Your Windows is out of date. You need to update Windows, please. Now, one theater that
like ad rolls up in the corner.
one theater I will
Buy
say
your
though that I
Honda
do
Civic
like
now.
though. Every time I've gone, I love the experience. Is Cinerama in Seattle.
Yeah.
That's the one that I've gone into, and when I sit down, it feels like I'm actually sitting down to a live Broadway or because everyone's all excited for the show.
And people say burlesque.
I don't
No,
know.
Wow. So Brian
When he
Broadway.
said brother,
And so, that's where everyone all cheers as the curtain's being opened,
Yeah.
and everyone's like, yeah. It's like, dude, this is awesome.
I'm almost
And
afraid to
people
pay
even
that much
cheer.
money for a movie and drive that far for fear that the people are going to suck so bad that it's going to be a bad experience.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
There
Now,
I've had
here's
great
the
experience
thing.
every time.
What I love about movies is the movie theater is those midnight releases, because that's when you get those fun people.
The
to be
people who
with.
care.
It's because they know that the movie is
Yeah.
important to the people that are watching it,
See,
and they're
exactly.
watching the movie,
You know,
not having a 4-long podcast out there.
One nice thing that Regal's been doing is they've been doing more community stuff, and so something like it wouldn't surprise me if the Doctor Who episode
doing
tonight is airing somewhere
It is.
in the theater
Nationwide.
Yeah.
But I don't know about locally here.
I wish they would. I
Yeah.
would go to it. But I don't think
I
they
thought
are.
they were doing something with, like, I thought the Doctor Who thing is aired only in select theaters, right? Like the first night, and then
Yeah.
tomorrow it's aired.
Because you
nationwide.
know,
I think it's
if
like
they would have aired it
300
last
something
night
and
at
then
midnight in
11,000.
select theaters, only real Doctor Who fans are going to go, and they're not
Oh,
going to
yeah.
be talking through the whole thing,
Yeah.
and they're
That's
gonna
why.
be
That's
dressed
why I
up
like
their
going to the
favorite
midnight
Doctor.
releases. It's
People will
worth
be dressed
doing
up like a weeping angel. It'd be creepy.
Yeah.
'Cause if I were dressed as a weeping angel, I would sit in the corner and be watching the film like this. And then while
Yeah.
everybody's watching intently, I'd sneak up right behind someone and just be like this. And then as soon as they turn around,
No, you'd have
Pretty
to.
much.
You'd have to talk with the guy sitting next. If we were sitting here, you'd be behind us. You tap on the guy's shoulder. You go,
yeah,
and then just he goes, "Hey, dude, check out this guy." And then he turns around and you go, "Oh, yeah, that's cool, yeah." And then he goes, "Dude," and then you're like, "Ah, no!" That's where you get cooperation there. But yeah, I mean the whole experience makes that movie theater experience, and I think it's been with the fact of, and then they started doing this thing about whole like, well, we're gonna have select seating, that like some movie theaters gonna have select seating for people that
VIP.
want to blog and stuff. I'm
Oh,
like, dude, go to the
no.
premiere if you're gonna do that. Like, don't.
I've
Go
heard of that
home.
idea. Though. Some theaters are trying to be more mobile friendly to let people do stuff. I'm like, that is not.
And
right.
they're like,
Not
they're
right.
gonna put them up front, like in the middle in the aisles. I'm
With the
like,
glowing
no,
screens?
no. What you need to do is you need to take those people and go put them in the back, like,
Yeah.
where I don't have to look
Actually,
at their screen.
when they're right up front, believe it or not, it's less distracting because there's so much glow coming from the screen,
Yeah, that's
reflection,
true.
that you don't notice as much. In the very back where it's dark, that's when you notice it. Someone pulls it out to check the time or.
But
check
I'm
their
not looking
text.
at them. I'm
Yeah.
already. I'm in
No,
the
it's-
front
if
3
you're
rows.
behind
I'm
them,
not.
that's
Yeah.
like that glowing screen that goes.
But I
it's
will
like,
say
whoa,
that the reserve seating, like up in Tacoma at the Lakewood Mall, where you're in those recliners, the person next to me pulled out their phone, and it wasn't distracting because they're not right next to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's
and the
'cause, yeah, I know,
seats
we
are
got-
all so high enough that there's
Yeah.
no impeded view.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I know that there was one theater up in Seattle, I think, or somewhere in the area that was leveled seating. So
Yeah.
if you were sitting, if some dude was sitting in
Which
front
is
of
how
you,
it
you're
used to
staring at
always-
the back of his head because you're not.
That's what I'm
you're
talking
gonna be
about.
5
When I
rows,
moved,
7 rows,
when I
100
moved
rows
to
back.
Olympia, that's all they had. And that's what I was saying. That's what drove me crazy.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, and I remember those where they kind of bowed a little bit like this, and they go
Well,
back up.
Capital
And they
Christian
were
Center.
long. Yes, that was the
That
place.
was that was theater seating. The one at the mall, I don't think was. No, because there were theaters that there were. I remember going
No,
seeing the
Capital,
movies there.
the one that the
Well,
Capital
there's-
Christian Center before they,
The
they
old
used
school
to not
theater
be.
seating was like this. Now now it's all rigged like stadium seating.
Oh, okay.
You know.
Yeah,
That's what
stadium.
they
And it even
call
had
it.
a
That's why they
bow,
call it
though. Yeah,
Stadium
so a bow.
16 is
Yeah.
what Regal's called.
Like,
But,
I remember going and seeing Dances with the Wolves.
Dances with Wolves.
Okay, Dance with Wolves. And it's-
Tatanka.
this lady sits down in front of me. Kid you not, beehive. She has a beehive haircut.
Tatanka. Tatanka.
Had a beehive haircut. I watched the whole 3-hour movie.
So you're
Like
saying Martin
this.
Simpson was sitting right in front of you?
Yes, a beehive. I literally had to watch the whole movie like this because
like
that's
staring
what
at
level
a
seating
pole.
was like. And it's like this.
That's really. That's
and then
really
everyone
old.
behind you.
Yes.
Just even
Someone
more
else probably
staggered.
behind me had to lean the other direction. And
then
we're
the
all
one
found
behind-
this, dude, a beehive at a movie theater? Really?
I think the last movie I saw at Capital Christian, or the old movie theater in Lacey, was Star Wars, and that was the first midnight release. My Star Wars 3, the Revenge of the Sith one, That was the first one I saw with my dad. Like, Dad's midnight release was that one. Yeah, you caught all that.
I did.
But yeah.
I got it.
But anyway, that's why I think movie theaters suck. It's
Yeah.
there's a lot more to say about it. I think that movie theaters
they need to step it up.
They're gonna need to.
They need to step it up because we're paying for
I
it.
saw. Well, shout out to
angry.
the Game Over Greggy show because they talked about something similar to this, and they were like, "Well, why not just have like a streaming thing like Netflix, but with movies like that are just coming out, so that I'll pay it, and then I'll see it at my house, or I'll own it." And that's another thing. They
Some
should
people are
just
starting to do that.
like pay if I'm paying like $17.50 to go see an IMAX 3D movie. I should get a digital download with that purchase because I'm practically buying the movie before it's out, and it's just gonna
Well, Mark Cuban.
They're doing that now, but they're like
but it's
charging
like
you.
$25. I don't want to go see a $25
Mark Cuban
movie.
owns a production company. I don't know which one it is, but his thing was he wanted movies released in the theater and on DVD or Blu-ray at the same time because he felt like they're two different audiences, and so they should be able to watch them on the same day.
Well, that's what. Like I was just talking with one of my coworkers at.
And select movies do come out on like
They've been doing that.
Yeah.
I've been seeing
same
that.
time. But
Yeah,
you're,
on
you're
demand and
paying
stuff.
way more.
On demand, like,
But
hey,
like, you don't own
before
it.
the
But if you
theaters.
get 8 people
You're
watching
renting.
it, yeah,
Yeah,
8
but you're
people
renting
watching it,
it.
it's actually cheaper than going to the theater.
Yeah.
But like I was talking with one of my friends that I work with, and he said that he hasn't seen any of the Hobbit movies because he's like, I'm gonna wait till all 3 of them are out, and then I'm just gonna go watch them all. I'm like, that's
to
kind
back
of
to back.
yeah. And he's like,
It's a long day.
that is he's just gonna watch them all periodically, But it's like you might as well. You're gonna go. You could have spent triple the amount that you're gonna spend on to go see those movies, and just get the DVDs.
Yeah. See, for me, it's all about the experience. I think, honestly, I have to retract when I say movie theaters suck. It's not that the movie theaters suck. It's that the movie theaters have the potential to make or break that movie-going experience.
They do.
And it's all about the experience. There are some films that I didn't like, but when I was honest and went back, it was because the theater experience sucked.
Yeah.
There were people talking, ruined the film for me.
Yeah.
So I'm like, that film for me is a 3-star. Then I watch it later, and I'm like, wait a minute, holy cow! I think this is a 4.5-star film.
Yeah.
That's what my final verdict is.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you for tuning in, letting us rant with you. If you want to post in the comment section on why you hate movie theaters or why you love movie theaters, post in the comment section below wherever you're watching this. And I think that's it. Remember to like the video, subscribe to GDOC, and GDOC United is where all of the GDOC talks are at, and also little videos here and there. Go follow us on Twitter at GDOC United, and go like us on Facebook, facebook.com/GDOC United. And we'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Peace.